Alright guys, welcome back to the Casebook of Arne. Last time I kind of just cut it off, and the reason for that being is my video messed up halfway through. So y'all didn't get to see the rest of it, so I am going to replay some of what I missed, what you guys missed, which is not a lot. But I do want to at least let you guys see that. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into it. Welcome to the Casebook of Arne, and I am your host, Kay, and let's go. Yes, go right ahead. What is all this? Cute, so cute. Right, it's your first time seeing it. Simply put, it's strange. It's a stage made from my blood. Evilly, bloodily, adorably, nerdtight. I thought it good to see you cheering up, but stop that at once. I just started doing it subconsciously. Everything I'd been stubbornly keeping in came out just like that. Say, Linny, here's something you might appreciate. Z, what is it? Arne's bored all the time, so he practices doing this all by himself. That's too cute. I just want to decorate my room with you. Nope, not possible. The blood returns to my body when it's done. No, I was talking about you, Lord Arne. Me? Boy, Linny, you really are strange. Nothing of the sort! Drooling again. Well, you see, when humans get excited, their body temperature rises, so to lower it. That's sweat. This is going nowhere. Let us ignore Lynn Rainweb. Huh? What? Please, let me join in on this too! You've become awfully bothersome all of a sudden, when the subject is vampires. Just stay there and be quiet. Leave it to me. Let's organize the information Lynn Rainweb's gathered. Alright, first. Hold on a second, you got a map of the mansion and dolls of everyone? Don't be so surprised at every turn. That's not happening! I'll just ignore you for a while. All that needs to be made clear in this case, ultimately, is who killed Lynn Rainweb's father. Thus, the only actions we need inspect are those of the humans in the mansion before and after the incident. The first ones to act before Lynn Rainweb received the call from her father were the two maids. First, the short maid left her room to go to the kitchen. In so doing, she met the guard and the chef, neither of whom moved until the incident occurred, yes? Yes, that's what they said. Incidentally, I take it you asked the guard, the maid, and the cook individually? Well, naturally, I questioned all three separately, and they all gave that same story. In that case, good. Now let's proceed. While this short maid was in the kitchen, another person left her room. Surely you know where she was headed? Of course! 2F guest room? The guest room on the second floor! Precisely. But how do you know it happened in this order? Actually, I was watching from this mirror here. Yes, Z saw both maids head to the second floor. The tall maid passed by here first. Oh, I see. In short, if anyone tried to go to the third floor, they would be witnessed by Z on the second floor, or the guard in the dining room. I see. Of course, the guard is also a suspect, so we can't fully believe him. But for the moment, there are no contradictions in the people he claimed to witness in the times. In addition, Z was generally watching everything, so it should be no issue to proceed like this. Understood. And then she waited here. Then the maid left the kitchen right around when the gardener was spotted in the back. The gardener wanted to reach the maid waiting on the second floor, but... Oh, I get to play out the story. Your jump isn't mighty enough to reach. Well, yeah, I gotta get this ladder. Because that's what he used. Yeah. That's a weird way to carry a ladder. Okay. I did it! Incidentally, Z also saw the two of them in the guest room. Huh, then I didn't need to see through Diane's lies. You could generally assume that Z saw everything in the room, in any rooms with the mirrors. My hard work. But they quickly went into a blind spot and I didn't know what they were doing. So Lenny did good. I sure did! Well, but there's no way to verify whether what that maid said is true or not. If Z hadn't seen it, we wouldn't know if she was really in the guest room. By the way, Lynn Rainweb. Yes? Do you think it would be possible to carry the ladder to the terrace on the second floor? I wonder. That ladder is really big. Kai always seems to just drag it around. And also, there's a fence on the terrace. It would probably be hard to do it alone, right? Indeed. Z, was there any indication that the Z, was there any indication that the gardener left the room alone, then re-entered the mansion? Not just limited to the second floor guest rooms, say the third floor guest rooms, perhaps? Unfortunately, I didn't see. Right, understood. Yep, I saw her pass through! Yes, we got it. The maid went to her master's room right at midnight every night. But then she recalled that on this day, she'd been told he didn't need water. Just around this time, Lynn Raynor received a call from her father. Now they both began to move. The maid couldn't be bothered to return the glass to the kitchen. So she tried to transfer the water to a vase, but broke both. While she was doing this, Lynn Raynor prioritized going to her father's room. And there she arrived. Now, as for the maid's actions afterward... The maid wanted to destroy the evidence, but... So she cleaned this up. She didn't go this way, so did she go up here? Oh yeah, she went to get... Yep. So she took this vase. Just before Elsie heard first witness Bernard scream, it seems she was in the storeroom. Knowing her, it wouldn't surprise me if she was searching for a vase the whole time. She's so dim-witted. That's true. In summary, let's say she took about 5 minutes cleaning up. And was searching the storeroom for a vase when you delightfully passed out. What do you mean, delightfully? If only she'd left cleaning up the vase for later. She could have entered the storeroom sooner. At this time, everyone but the guard was inside a room. A convenient time to act without anyone seeing. As for this butler, it's not even necessary to give it a thought. Given the placement of his room, he'd inevitably encounter someone going anywhere. If he went to the second floor, he'd pass Z's mirror. If he went east, he'd encounter the guard. That's right! After doing some reading in his room, Gordon apparently talked with Hines in the kitchen. Bernard says he saw them too, and there was no contradiction with Hines' testimony. Incidentally, what was he talking with the chef about? The food menu for next week and budgets, apparently. What a serious and dull old coot. Dull old coot? That's such a crude way to treat him. At 12:30, the guard was inevitably called for by your father. Even Bernard didn't seem to know why he was called. I recall your father said something about leaving the house together, did he not? Yes. If that's indeed what was going on, then perhaps the guard was meant to be the first witness. Meant to be? There was the corpse resembling your father, yes? He wanted him to see it and think he'd been murdered. Well, though he was in fact murdered. Father, why would you do something like that? But wait, why not just let the maids discover it in the morning? Indeed, I can see no merit to making the guard discover it. Perhaps that wasn't in the killer's plan. Well, more possibilities make it all the more delightful. There's nothing delightful about it. And after the guard used his key to open the door, he found you uncouthly passed out next to the corpse and screamed. Hold on, what's that uncouthly for? By the way, your father was holding his room key. Who else had a duplicate key? Besides Bernard, the butler Gordon, and the two maids also had keys. There's far too many. Oh, but Elsie doesn't have one anymore. About a month ago, she flushed hers down a toilet. Since then, she hasn't been allowed her own. Instead, she is to borrow Gordon's, and if she doesn't give it right back, she gets yelled at. What kind of system is that? So then, back to the short maid. Just before the guard found the corpse, she went down to the second floor to replace the vase. Yes, she said Bernard's scream almost caused her to break that vase too. And in response to the guard's pathetic scream, the short maid, Elsie, and the tall maid, Diana, the two of them assembled, but what was the guard doing at that time? Bernard's extremely averse to blood, so he was... It seems he fainted. Huh? Bernard can't stand the sight of blood at all. For instance, Elsie sometimes blunders and cuts her finger, and every time Bernard runs over out of worry, that little bit of blood makes him faint. What a useless fellow. Isn't the fact you might discover a corpse someday the best part of being a guard? I'd hope that's really a rare occurrence. On the other hand, impressive he could become a guard. Well, at any rate, the maids then called for the others. And they too assembled. That concludes our sorting out of the info. We also have a sufficient idea of motives. However, before we consider who the killer is, there's one thing I want to confirm with you. What is it? Lynn Rainweb, those dogs of yours seem quite superb. Indeed, they will attack anyone but specifically people, as demonstrated earlier. Yes, they should be friendly only to myself, father, and the gardener Kai. Then why do you think you were attacked? It's simple. There was something different about you. You were attacked, in fact, because they were too talented. Something different. So, just what was it? Maybe her appearance? Could it be my appearance? You're certain? Maybe? Since I was wearing a tracksuit? Do you always wear the same clothes around the dogs? No, of course not. And also, I'm sure they've seen me in my tracksuit before. Okay, so it's a different reason, not your appearance. Then... maybe her scent? Could it be my scent? You're certain? I mean, yeah? That's what I should have picked in the first place, because that would make the most sense as to why the dogs wouldn't recognize me. Wow. Okay, after I regained consciousness, I had blood on my clothes, so I changed. But I'm sure just changing clothes didn't remove the scent of someone else's blood. I didn't notice it myself, but maybe the dogs responded to it. Exactly. I'm sensitive to the smell of blood as well, and though it's faint, you do smell of blood. And it's not your own. In short. Hold on a second! What? I'm getting to the important part. Oh, your blood went back, so you got big again. Wait, not that! You could smell blood on me too, Lord Arne? I said as much, didn't I? And so? No, not and so! That's really kind of embarrassing! Look, it's fine, now... No, it's not! Now that I think about it, I haven't bathed 2 nights in a row! Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't stop! I can't focus on what you're saying like this! I'm going to take a bath! Hey, hold on! We can talk later! Okay. See? Lynn, right? I know, leave it to me. Oh, but I won't look inside the bath, of course. I'm a gentleman, see? Yes, so you say. But still, why is Lynn Rainweb taking a bath all of a sudden? You definitely don't get a girl's heart, Arne. I mean, you need to get human feelings first. What are you talking about? Does she properly understand why she was attacked by the guard dogs? The note that called for her, the knowledge that she had the scent of blood on her. Clearly, she's the next one the killer is after. Maybe she was embarrassed enough that she couldn't even afford to consider that stuff. Utterly unbelievable. I mean, I don't blame her. If I had found out that I smelled of blood in front of somebody I kind of admire, because it seems like she admires Arne a little bit, I'd be a little like, too. Anyway, let's continue. I'm revived! Truly, Lord Arne has no delicacy. Real vampires turned out to be completely different from what I imagined. It's really kind of a shock. I've been disillusioned. But vexing as it is, their abilities are still cool. Really now, what's with you, Lord Arne? Come to think of it, I wonder if vampires take baths. I've read that they can't stand running water. I should ask him later. Well, never mind that. I need to thoroughly wash off this blood scent. If Lord Arne hadn't saved me, I might have died. I don't have the power to protect myself. Of course I understand that wisdom alone isn't enough, so I need Lord Arne's help, but I really do need to think about how to go about interacting with him. Lord Arne uses me in this case to enjoy himself, and I use his strength and wisdom to help solve the case. But when I say I'm using him to solve the case, aren't I just trusting that he can do it? Isn't this so confusing? Just what is the difference? Humans and vampires, Lord Arne and I. Trusting, using. Come to think of it, why was I attacked? Actually, there was a note in my room, and the fact I had blood on me, that wasn't a coincidence, was it? Ahem. Lynn Rainwib, how long are you going to be in there? Isn't this much too long for a bath? Well now, Lynn Rainwib. Killed by the culprit after all. What? Well, you're still alive? I'll get you out of there for now. Lord Arne? That was clearly a fatal wound, so I thought you were long since dead. I see. So, I'm going to die. Even when I'm suddenly on the verge of death, you aren't surprised. Well, I was able to predict it. So did you see the culprit's face? They suddenly came from behind, so I didn't see. How useless. That's cruel. It was you who didn't listen to everything I had to say. Right. What are you laughing about? Mother said she wanted to die smiling. Huh? Are you happy to die? That's not it. Did your mother die happy? She said she wanted to live. I see. So, Lynn Rainwib, what about you? I also want to live. That should be obvious. I haven't accomplished anything yet. Even though I'd finally decided I'd do something on my own, I chose to, all by myself. I'll catch Father's killer. No. I don't want to die yet. I don't want... I see. Yet very soon you will undoubtedly die. Toyed with by the killer, never to be the starring role, you were a helpless puppet until the end. Just do as a supporting character does, and step off the stage of this puppet show. But I'll give you a small mercy. If you have any last words, I'll hear them. Ease my blood. I didn't quite catch that. Please suck my blood. Lynn Rainwib, you. To think you'd be saying that even now? Those who have their blood sucked by a vampire become the vampire's puppet, gaining miraculous healing. But just like it sounds, a puppet is a puppet, with no sense of self. They only obey the vampire. So you're saying you wish to live, even if it means becoming a true puppet? Aha, but we're talking about the vampire fanatic, so that's not what you mean to say. A puppet is not a vampire, so puppets are not immortal. As such, they cannot recover from such a fatal wound. You want the blood of Nurtite, don't you? I don't need the blood of Nurtite. Oh? Lord Arne is fine. What do you mean? Give me Lord Arne's... Please, give me Lord Arne's blood. My blood? Is that different from the blood of Nurtite? Answer me, Lynn Rainwib! Don't just go ahead and die, you... Very well, Lynn Rainweb. You may live a little longer. Well, that's something. I'm not reading the noise. So you can still use your voice. Don't speak in the middle of it! This is a weird picture. I feel like I've done something I really shouldn't have. There, the blood-sucking you so desired. Rejoice. I guess it is, but... What the heck's with the reluctant blood-sucking? You seem able to move well enough. Thank you very much. There's no need to thank me. After all, in just a few minutes you'll become a mere puppet and meet death. Before that happens, answer my question. What do you mean, my blood? By Lord Arne's blood, I mean Lord Arne's blood. Yes, I'm asking you what that means. The blood that runs through this body is that of my own remaining heart? In short, it isn't mine. Maybe that's true, but the blood of the other king's in there too, right? Indeed it is. If you dissolve salt in pure water, it becomes salt water, right? There's no turning it back into pure water. I thought maybe this was the same thing. In other words, the one heart serving as master, and 8 other kinds of blood mixing in. That is what my blood is. And now, my blood is mixed in there too. Indeed, vampires do not digest the blood they drink. It mixes with their own and enters the body. I see. An interesting thought. I'll keep that in mind. So please, don't make me sad by calling yourself a puppet. Quite a thing to be told by someone about to become a puppet. Well, Lynn Rainweb, I no longer have use for you, but I at least extended the time until your death. Shall we enjoy our last conversation? I was thinking about the relation between humans and vampires. No, me and you. And I thought so deeply about it, I just got myself confused. I trust in your strength and wisdom, even now. I think they can solve this case. But you were using me to investigate the mansion, right? Exactly. Trusting and using. It's all a matter of distance between hearts. I had no other option but to get your help, but I'm sure even if I refused to investigate, you would have found another way to solve the case. I expect I'll have no problem even with you dead. Well, of course, you have plenty of information now. However, with the death of my client, my duty to solve the case also disappears. No, I'm going to solve this case. Just give up already, Lynn Rainweb. What are you trying to get at? You mentioned your relation with me. Lord Arne, I'm going to use you. Use me? You, a human? Such a fool up to your last moments, Lynn Rainweb. You were at least a little amusing. But do you think I would accept having you use me? If I let myself be used, it would not be interesting? But if that were an interesting turn of events, what then? Well, I said I'm going to use you. I do truly believe in your abilities. I can't imagine I'd be able to solve this case without your help, Lord Arne. So until this case is over, use me. Have me dance in your palm and entertain you. Go ahead and use me as a tool. If that really is the appropriate stage for me. So the show we've been having until now wasn't appropriate for you? Of course it wasn't! I'm not a puppet. I'm a human with my own will. There's no way the puppet show I've been part of until now was where I belonged. I am the star of this show. Only I can be the lead role in this case. Any play in which I'm not the star is a complete piece of junk. You want me to once more put on a show where you are the star? Lord Arne, are you going to say you can only put up puppet shows made of blood? So I'm to manipulate a human with a will as a human, keeping her human. But Lynn Rainweb, did you not say it yourself? I don't understand the feelings of humans. Do you think I could put on such a show? You can always use me for guidance, right? I'll certainly let you do so. And doesn't that added difficulty posed by you not understanding make things more delightful? Furthermore, my delightfulness in Lord Arne approved. Indeed, I've never met a human as delightful as you. And you know, if I'm the audience for this stinker of a show we've had, I'm booing the heck out of it. I'm here thinking, give me my money back. And as a client too, I'm terminating my contract with this lousy detective. I already paid a fee up front, so I have a right to take it back. I see, terminating the contract. And paying you back. I never thought of that. How delightful. You are truly delightful, Lynn Rainweb. You'll give it back, won't you, my blood? Are you saying that with this true understanding of what it means to give you my blood? Yes. Trading our blood. In other words, performing a blood pact and turning you into a vampire. However, I should make it clear up front. There's no guarantee a blood pact will succeed. Even so, if there's a chance I can survive, to use you and to be used by you, I'm not going to die. Right. Get up, Lynn Rainweb. Now, have you any final words as a human? Even if my body becomes a vampire's, I'm sure my heart will remain human. I see no need for final words. I see. Then let us begin, Lynn Rainweb. Oh my gosh. Ye of pure white, be dyed crimson in your entirety. Thy soul will be forever trapped here, your body rendered meaningless. Upon the name of our Nurtite, this I declare. The name of our new buffoonish compatriot is Lynn Rainweb. Now let us dance together joyously. The rest is up to you, Lynn Rainweb. Rise once more onto the stage. So, that was an interesting turn of events. I did not expect that to happen. I'm kind of in shock, but at the same time, like, it makes sense. This would be the next stage. As for the killer, I'm still having a difficult time figuring that out. I'm not sure who it could be. And I'm not really sure, like, where to proceed with that. I thought I had a good idea, but I'm not sure anymore, because my two guesses would have probably been the butler, because it's always the butler, or maybe even Bernard. But now I'm kind of starting to think Kai might have something to do with it, but they're all kind of guilty now that they all kind of have like a background of some kind. Like, even the chef to an extent, because nobody knows a lot about him. And he seems to be quick to anger. I don't know. There's just so many good characters it could be. It's a difficult choice. And I hope we figure it out together soon, because I really want to know. Woohoo! We meet again! Enjoy the case? Okay, on to the real business. Arne's about to find the killer, but do you want to try finding them first? Don't worry, you've got all the information you need to reason things out. Though, it looks like Arne will need a little more time to notice. Well now, who could the killer of Lynn's father be? Oh, me? Heck, I don't know. Not that I'd tell you if I did. So that's that. Give it your best shot. Got it? Oh, right. You messed up with your reasoning here and there on the way here, huh? Too bad. I had a reward for you and everything. Well, if you feel like it, try getting here one more time. The parts that matter for my reward are the confrontations with the maids, Diana and Elsie, as well as the guard Bernard. Don't mess them up this time, alright? Okay, that's the end of this installment of the Casebook of Arne. Alrighty then, see ya! So, I messed up the case. Like, I didn't pick some of the right answers, as you guys saw when we were playing through. And, so I don't really have all the info for the case, so I don't think they'd let me pick anybody. Which sucks, but that's okay. From here on, we're about to start the next part of the case, and I hope you guys come back and join me for that. Anyways, we're gonna call it quits here. I will catch you guys later. Bye. Goodbye.